Alright guys, so here's the review of the Christopher Ward C60 Sapphire Orange. So I've not actually checked out Christopher Ward before on the channel. Heard some pretty good things about him now. I know some people are a little bit funny about the name, but with this one it might not be too big a deal. You'll probably see when we get into that what I'm on about. But full disclosure, I've been sent this watch to review from Christopher Ward. I don't get to keep it though, I've got to send it back once I get the review done, so it's just a loan piece. But either way, it doesn't matter. You know the score by now, I'm going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So, as I say, there's a few interesting things with this one. It's part of the reason I went with it, something a little bit different, not the usual. So, enough waffling, let's get down to it, see what they are, see if you like it, see if you're interested in picking one up. As always, links will be down in the description if you are, but let's jump right in. So, this is the packaging you'll get it in. It actually comes with like another cardboard box on the outside and a cardboard sleeve over this, but this is the main packaging. So, you've got the Christopher Ward brand in there, along with the logo, and this is like leather, and then the other end, got wood, so really nice, just slides out, and then as you can see the rest of that is now wood. So pop this down, I'll quickly go over what you get in here. So you've got the user manual, and they do actually do specific user manuals for each watch, so whichever one you get, you will get that specific manual, which is always good. Then under that you've got the warranty card. So if you've not seen Christopher Ward before, you actually get a really good guarantee with this. So the 6060 you actually get is 60-day return if there's anything wrong with it, or if you change your mind, and then you also get 60 months, 5-year guarantee, which is really good. And then the end of the thing in there is a branded cleaning cloth. Then underneath that you would just have the watch in this bit, but I've taken it out and resized it so it doesn't fit in here anymore. So we'll get that out of the way, and here's the actual watch. So as I said in the intro, something a little bit different, not something you see all that often, with that transparent dial, also that nice orange colour too. They do actually do a couple of other different colours. They do a blue one and a black one. I'll probably leave pictures on screen so you can see them, but I think the orange is the pick of the bunch for me personally. Do really like it. So before we talk about it a bit more, let's quickly go over the dimensions. So I've got a diameter of 40mm, thickness of 13.5, 20mm lug width, and then the all important lug to lug is 47.4, but as you probably saw a minute ago, we have actually got male end links, although they do curve down pretty quickly, actually following the shape of the case. But I'll give you the end-to-end link measurement, although it doesn't really wear as big as this will suggest, which you'll see in a bit when I actually show it on wrist. So the end link to end link measurement is coming in at 50.8, but as I said, because they curve down so quickly, it doesn't really wear as large as that suggests. So getting on to the rest of the watch, let's get a zoom in on that dial, because that's what it's all about. So there's a closer look. And as I said, you can see right through, see the movement, see the date wheel complication as well as a couple of little screws at the sides. So the dial on this is actually sapphire, and then it's got like a film over it or something apparently to get that colour. And also it's got the same on the back, that orange colour being matched. So obviously if you get the blue one or the black one, that'll be the same, be matched on the back, which is a nice touch I think. And then we've got applied indices, nice high polish around the edge of them. Hands again, nice high polish. And that signature trident for the Christopher Ward brand on the second hand, on the counterbalance. And then we get to the contentious part, the part that some people really don't like with these watches, and that's the branding there, over on the left, the Christopher Ward. I personally don't mind it too much. When you're wearing it, when it's in the light, you don't really see it that much on this style, I don't think. So if I zoom back out, you can't really see it that much, because you're more looking at the rest of this dial and the movement behind it and everything. Certain angles you can see it, and then you probably saw at the top as well, we've actually got the logo there. Personally, as I say, I don't mind, but perhaps some point down the line they may just switch to the logo maybe, because I don't think you really need both. But anyway, As for the rest of it, we've got automatic printed at the bottom, and then 600 meters water resistance, which is really impressive. And then that black date window over at the 3. And then down at the bottom, got Swiss made. So the movement in this is actually Swiss as well. It's the Sapphire SW200. When it comes to the rest of the watch, we've got a stainless steel bezel, and then we've got a nice mixture of brushed and polishing on the case, nice chamfered polished details. It's a pretty slender looking sleek case, I think. Do quite like it. Nice sign crown with the logo on there. Nice detailing. Just going to zoom in and show you that a bit better. And it's just all really nicely finished. You can probably see the detailing on the bezel there as well. So this top section here is actually raised and then it dips down just after that in a bit. Nice little touch, little detail. So I'll zoom back out, show you the bracelet. So it's a fully brushed bracelet. And this is where I did have a slight issue with this when I first got it and was trying to resize it. And that's these links. So these are actually pin and collar, which really isn't my favourite. I think at this kind of price, they should be having screw links, to be honest, really. If cheaper brands can do them, I think they need to be having screw links, because pin and collar is just a pain in the arse, frankly. So I ended up having to use pliers to get a couple of these pins out, because they just got stuck. And then getting them back in isn't easy either. You have to be careful you don't bend them when you're pushing them back in. So definitely not my favourite. That being said though, this clasp does somewhat make up for that. So we've got double pushers, milled clasp, we've got the branding in there. Again, some people might not like that. But then the important part is this. So we've actually got on the fly adjustment here, so you just pull this bit back and then you can ratchet that. And then you've got a decent bit of adjustment on the fly, which I do like. Also, if I zoom in, you can probably see it a bit better. We've also got a quick release bracelet as well, which is a nice touch. So if you do want to swap it out for a different strap, and they also do it either on a strap or on a bracelet. So when it comes to the price, I may as well mention that now, seeing as we're kind of touching on it. So if you get it on this bracelet, it's actually £900. If you get it on the strap, it's £795. So what else are you getting for the money? Let's test out a few other bits. Have we got sapphire crystal for a start? Using the trusty diamond selector too. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. Let's quickly test out the back. And yep, that is also sapphire crystal. So good to see. At this kind of price, you want to be seeing sapphire on both. So as I said, this has got the Sapphire SW200 as well. So I'll quickly show you that in action before we check out the Lume. So screw down crown, as you'd expect with it being 600 meter water resistance. Just pop it out once, and then you can change the date. Pop it out again. Second hand stops, you got hacking, and then obviously you can just change the time. Pop it back in, second hand re-engages. All really smooth, no issues at all. Nice grippy crown as well. As for the bezel action, got 120 click, absolutely rock solid. Nice and smooth as well, not too difficult to turn, just the right amount of resistance, and it lines up perfectly. So now, as I said, let's check out the Lume. So you can see a tiny bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. And there we go. So the Lume on this is actually X1, so it is really impressive. I have to admit, when I first was trying the watch on and just took it outside for a minute or two, it didn't charge up too much, so I think it does take quite a while to charge up. Obviously being in the UK, the weather's not brilliant, not a lot of sun, so it might take a while to charge up, but once it does, really impressive Lume. So no patchiness as you'd expect, consistent across the hands and the indices, and given how small the indices actually are, it's pretty impressive. Does last a good amount of time, and we've also got a little bit of Lume as well on that Lume pip. Touch on the small side maybe, but it's in keeping with the rest, I guess. And realistically, you're probably not going to go diving in it. Swimming maybe, but probably not diving. But either way, the Lume lasts a good amount of time, so you're not going to worry about that at all. So all it's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist, and I think it does look really good. And as I said earlier, it does wear really well, despite having the longer end-link to end-link measurement, because they do curve down pretty quickly and match that curve of the case as well. So it just fits really nicely. And also with having the on-the-fly adjustment, you can get the perfect size, that's not an issue. The only slight gripe when I first resized it, as I mentioned, the pin and collar system on this, not my favourite. Bit of a pain in the arse. I wish they'd change it to screw pins, but other than that, I can't really fault it. Really distinctive dial, Swiss movement, Swiss made, nice finishing throughout. Yes, it's not a cheap watch, but you are getting a lot of watch for your money. So you got the, as I say, on the fly adjustment with this, you've got the quick release bracelet, you've got the sleeter movement, Swiss made, that distinctive dial, nice finishing throughout, 600 meter water resistance, double sapphire back and front, and also that sapphire dial. So I guess it comes down to whether you can put it with that Christopher Ward branding. As I said in the intro, I personally think it's not too bad on this style version. Kind of blends in, depending on the angle and the sun and stuff. It's a little less in your face than some of the other dials, with it being that transparent look. But again, it's down to you. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.